I'm Joanne Roberts and I'm reporting live from the Chinese Cultural and Community Center here at Folklorama. We have behind me a wonderful dragon dance as 2024 is the year of the dragon. We kicked off Folklorama here 2 years ago, so we thought, why not, end it as it is their final night. Right now I am joined by Philip Lee. He is the president of the Winnipeg Chinese Cultural and Community Center. Philip, you were there at the first Folklorama. What was that like?
Well, it started in 1970 with the centennial year of the Manitoba province. And we first started with the night market, but then gradually it developed into Folklorama, which is the folk festival that is the largest in North America. Our first pavilion was an open-air pavilion in the corner of the street, like the intersection of Pacific and King. And we were at the mercy of weather in those days. When it rained, we have to go indoor. And we celebrated then with the 7 other pavilions to form the Folklorama event in those days.
Incredible. And this is a photo of you at the first Folklorama, is that right?
Yes, I was a young person then, and they seconded me to be the first MC for our pavilion.
Incredible. Thank you so much for having us here, Philip. Also to talk about why this culture and passing it on to future generations is so important is Raymond Wan. He is the vice president of the Winnipeg Chinese Culture and Community Center. We've got Lawrence right here as the Chinese panda. Gary, why is this so important to you and your community?
Is like this last 2 weeks, I'm sure all the pavilions that employ more than thousands of volunteers, it's important to express and continue our culture. And it's very hard to do a sustainable for the next generation. As you can see, demonstrate over here, we have 3 generations involved. We have over 110 to 115 volunteers every night at different ages. So it's a lot of community effort to make this event successful.
That's incredible. Raymond, high five. Over here to talk about how important these cultural traditions, dances, and art forms are is Gary Liu. He is with the Great Wall Performing Center. Gary, tell me, why is this so important to your culture?
This year we prepared very well. We even got the professional choreography from China. So we are even in Canada, but we are roots in China. So we have to keep our culture. So that this year we choose so many different kind. We have the traditional dance, classic dance, choir, Tai Chi, and instrument. So we want to make people more attractive, make our new generation to memorize their culture, their roots.
It is the last day of shows, which means the last performances are playing. People are saying farewell to audiences until next year. And I am so pleased to be here as this is where Folklorama 2024 began. And right now we're at the cultural display. I'm joined by Stella Hong. Stella, can you tell me about the things that are here?
Yeah, of course. So starting off here, we actually have a dry brick of Chinese tea. So tea originated in the southwestern region of China because of its warm, humid climates. And to make this brick of tea, they would pluck it first from the very tips because that was the best for the tea. And then they would dry it out, mix it together, ferment it, and then sort it depending on the quality of the tea into these bricks. And these were really great for trade, transportation, and preservation. Now moving on over here and speaking about trade, we have our Chinese porcelain. This is really important because the European merchants had never before seen anything like this. Their tableware in the past had just been for wood, made of wood and metals. So when they saw these, they held it to such a high regard that Chinese porcelain could only be traded with solid gold. And because of its white glossy finish, they coined it the term white gold. Now moving on here, we have Niren Zhang. So Niren stands for clay sculpture, and Zhang is the last name of the person who first started making them. So this specifically is a Beijing opera face, and because the reason for its vibrant colors is because people couldn't really see very well, and it helped them to understand the different characters. So speaking about the colors, red represented good people that would protect others. Black would represent people who were intelligent and powerful. The white one over there would represent someone who's sneaky. Silver would represent someone who was a bad spirit or a demon. And gold would represent a good spirit. And for those who like the color purple, unfortunately that meant someone was really sick.
Oh No, I love purple. Thank you so much, Stella. And now over here we are joined by Catherine Wong. Catherine, we are at the calligraphy station. Can you tell me what's going on here?
Of course. So here we have Mike John, a member of the Association of the Chinese Calligraphers of Manitoba. And at the Chinese Pavilion, you can actually have your name written in Chinese to take home as a souvenir, which is very popular, as you can tell. And Chinese calligraphy is seen as a very delicate form of artwork because it requires the precise strokes of the brush to write out the Chinese characters, as you can see Mike here is doing for us.
Incredible. Do you do calligraphy yourself?
I did try when I was younger, and I can say I did not do very well. It is very hard to do.
That is fair, and I'm assuming that this is an art form that takes years to master.
It definitely is.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. We are joined by this lovely panda. Hey, Catherine, can you tell me what the significance of pandas is in Chinese culture?
So pandas here they're very significant in China because there's abundance of them. They originated from China, and as they have become a little bit extinct because of climate change and global issues, but we are so grateful to still have many pandas to exist in China today.
Thanks so much for joining us, Catherine and Chinese Panda. So that is it for our live coverage of Folklorama. But before we let you go, we're going to show you a recap of week 2 of Folklorama. So if somehow you missed a bunch of pavilions this week, this is what we got up to. We started at the Celtic Irish Pavilion, where we not only saw some incredible river dancing, we also tried traditional Irish drinks.
Irish cream on top, finished with some sprinkles, and that is a kneecap.
That is really, really good. Over at the British Isle Pavilion, we celebrated everything pop culture.
The British Isles, of course, represents England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. So we represent not just one, but 4 cultures in one pavilion.
Practice makes perfect. So it's just like this.
The Ethiopian Pavilion taught us a traditional dance and gave us a demonstration too.
We just kind of made it our own, and now the youth are doing it, which is really amazing because a lot of them were born in Canada, so it means a lot that they get to have a chance to learn and express their culture here. So, yeah.
Our immersion into Folklorama's rich cultures continued to our final stop, the India Pavilion, where we learned about the traditional attire.
So right now I'm wearing a salwar kameez, as you can see. The pants are known as the salwar, and then the top is known as the kameez, which is known as the shirt. As I said, that is our last of the coverage of Folklorama 2024. I'm here at the Chinese Pavilion where they're playing their final shows. Stella, before we sign off, how do you say bye in Chinese?
In Mandarin, we say 再见.
再见from Mandarin, reporting live for City News. I'm Joanne Roberts.